Hello, Marvel fans! It's time for another Action Figure Pentathlon, where we will have two action figures face off in a variety of challenges, and we'll decide together who is the better action figure. I asked for your help in picking our next contestants, and the figure with the most votes was Falcon, and trailing by only one vote was Silk. This should be an interesting matchup. Have these two ever even met? Well, obviously not, because one's a movie character and the other's a comic character, but you know what I mean. In the United States, Falcon is a Walmart exclusive, and I only saw him in a store once. Silk is part of a Spider-Man line for the Space Venom Build-A-Figure. While you could check out our contestants' articulation as they stretch for the competition, let's go over some character background information. Falcon's character was first created back in 1969 in Captain America number 117. His real name is Sam Wilson. The comic version of Sam received the ability to telepathically communicate with birds after the Red Skull used the cosmic cube on him. And he can fly thanks to some Wakandan technology. And apparently he really likes to decorate his place with bird art. Silk's real name is Cindy Moon. She first appeared in comics as Silk in 2014 in Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3, Number 4. But a few months before that, she shows up in Number 1 as Cindy. Cindy was bit by the same spider that gave Peter Parker his powers. After Silk learned to use her powers, she was locked away for 10 years in a bunker to protect her life force from being devoured by a group of beings called the Inheritors. Silk's abilities are very similar to Spider-Man's, but while he may have more super strength than she does, she's faster, her spider sense has a bit more range, and she can make her own webbing out of her fingertips. Now that both contestants are warmed up, let the games begin. Round 1, Beauty. We'll take a look at the accessories that these two come with later on, so for now, we'll just examine the figures themselves. Falcon is wearing his movie costume, and he has a uniquely sculpted body. There's something strange, though, about his arms. They start off broad at the shoulder, but then quickly narrow down to becoming too slender. I'd say he has bird arms compared to his other movie teammates, but birds don't have arms. He doesn't have too much paint applied to his figure, but I don't see any flaws to the paint that's there. Silk is wearing her current comic costume. I'm so glad we got this version, and not her original appearance where she just wrapped herself up in her own webbing. Ugh. Silk has a few scuffs and flaws to her paint, but I really like the dynamic sculpt of her hair. I think the highlights, though, have been applied a little too thickly in some spots on her hair, though. Now on to scoring these two. Falcon gets a bonus from me for having a unique sculpt, but then he loses it due to those distracting skinny arms. Silk has a few paint problems, but her figure has a pretty head sculpt with awesome flowing hair. Falcon's gonna pick up 7 points this round, and I'm awarding Silk 9. Round 2, Balance. In the balance round, I check to see how easy it is to get the figures to stand, and how stable are they once they're standing. Then we'll add a simulation of a bumped shelf to see who topples first. Both of these figures have joints that are firm enough to hold them in place, yet not so tight that it feels like you're gonna break them. Silk's ankles actually seem like an improvement to me over previous adult female ankles, like Phoenix's and Misty Knight's, and she feels better balanced than them as well. I can position Silk's ankles how I want without them trying to fight me and lock into a particular position. Both figures stayed up for a decent amount of time, but Falcon fell first. If your shelf gets bumped, it likely won't be one of these two that fall first. I wonder if Falcon's backpack is throwing off his balance a bit. I think it might be because it feels like I need to lean him forward just a little bit to compensate for it. So let's try that again without the backpack. And that time Silk fell first. Gotta say, I'm happy with both of their balance. And since this was a tie, I guess they're both gonna get 9 points out of 10 for this round. Round 3, the chair. This round tests the lower body articulation of the figures and lets us find out if the two figures will look decent sitting on a shelf or on your desk. One thing I've noticed with Falcon, though, is like other movie figures such as Black Panther, his legs won't raise up all the way to 90 degrees to his body. They come pretty close, but he still has to recline a small amount in the chair because his thighs hit the bottom of his torso and refuse to move up higher. On the other hand, Silk's legs do rise up 90 degrees, which is great for sitting. And both of these figures have double-jointed knees, which gives you a little bit of options for the height of your chair and still have them be able to sit with both feet flat on the floor. Ooh, let's see if I can get Silk's legs a bit closer together. Oh, good. You can close her legs a little bit more, so she doesn't sit like Marvel Legends Rescue. It's not as much as I'd like, but it is a lot better than before. Round 4, Food. The loser from our last Action Figure Pentathlon was Enchantress, so she was supposed to cook for today's contest. But she's being a bit of a Namor and refused. I'm totally going to start using that as a swear word now. Stop being such a Namor. Anyway, back on topic. I had to hire a caterer for today's food round. Just add the bill to my tab, Patrick. While the last round tested the figure's lower body articulation, this round we're going to test their upper body to see if the two can be posed to look like they're eating donuts. Falcon has a huge advantage in this round, and I'm not talking about his not-a-bird arms. No, he has double-jointed elbows, and Silk's are only single-jointed. This means Falcon can bend his lower arms up over 90 degrees. Silk's body at least has a neck hinge that some of the other Lady Legends are missing, but those elbows let her down. Falcon can be posed to look like he's eating, adjusting his goggles, or thinking, while Silk can touch the top of her hair. And that's about it. Falcon is the clear winner of this round, and he picks up the full 10 points, while Silk is awarded 6 points. Round 5, Comic Art Recreation. In this round, we see if the action figures can recreate a pose from the comics. Well, since Falcon is a movie character, I took a screenshot from the Civil War movie of him delivering an aerial roundhouse kick. It's a bit blurry, but hey, it was either this or him flying or pushing buttons on his arm, and I thought this was the most interesting. Falcon is going to need his wings for this round, but I'll talk more about those wings soon. And I think this turned out pretty well. I like it, but Falcon really needs somebody to kick. I don't have any random henchmen, though. But Grim Reaper has volunteered as tribute, just so he can be on camera again. For Silk, I picked the cover of issue number 2, where Silk is perched on a web. Wait, do spiders perch? No, I think that's more of a bird thing. What do spiders do then? Crouch? Good enough. Silk is crouched on a web. I don't have a web, but I do have Silk's box that we can use. Silk can't quite get into the pose, but she comes close. Her action figure's legs just don't come up high enough to allow her butt to rest on the box. But if she had that kind of articulation, her figure may have ended up with goofy-looking hips in a normal, relaxed pose. So I can't penalize her too much for that. The bigger problem, though, is her hair is not very flexible, and that limits her head articulation. She can't look up really at all. I think Falcon did a better job on this round, so he gets 8 points, and Silk picks up 7. Bonus round, Special Talent. In this round, a figure can score up to 3 bonus points for accessories, not including Build-A-Figure parts. Falcon doesn't come with any Build-A-Figure parts, but he comes with plenty of other goodies. First is the pack that fits on his back. You can have him wear it as it is for when his wings are folded away, and it plugs securely on his back. There is also a folded up version of his Red Wing drone that secures into the back of his pack. Then you get 2 large wings that assemble very easily by sliding the 2 pegs on each wing into the holes on the pack. The wings, though, have no articulation on their own, and they don't even rotate when they're on the pack. But the good news is they are very sturdy. These wings are a really impressive size, and they make Falcon stand out on your shelf from your other figures. The wings are easily my favorite part of this figure. Silk comes with one of the legs of Space Venom, a loose mask, and an extra interchangeable head. Not only is this head great to display a different look for Silk, but it's great for customizing her into other characters too. For example, I've seen on Instagram Silk's heads being used for some great customs for characters like Elektra and Psylocke. The hair on both heads looks to be the same sculpt, and Silk looks wonderful with both options. I wish we would have got some extra hands with Silk, but I do love the extra head and mask, so Silk is picking up 2 bonus points. I'm still really impressed with Falcon's wingspan, and the addition of 2 versions of Redwing is wonderful. There is something important missing about Falcon though, and that's his guns. As it is, he can kick people in the face, but he'll have to borrow something from Deadpool or Punisher's armories before he should go into battle. Falcon picks up 2 bonus points. These 2 figures couldn't be more different. Movie, comic, male, female, spider, bird. And yet, their colors work really well together. They could be on the same team. Team Silken. But now it's time I total up the points. Oh, now that's surprising. Falcon earned 44 points, and Silk earned 42. Silk would have beat him for sure if it wasn't for her elbows. I guess my vote goes to Falcon then, even though I like Silk's character more. But this contest isn't over yet, because your vote matters just as much as mine. Put aside your preference of the characters themselves, and let me know in the comments down below who you think is the better action figure. Stay tuned for the results show next week, and feel free to check out my other videos for more reviews and toy crafting. And thanks for watching.